Okay, guys, today we're going to be talking about support and resistance areas. What are support and resistance areas? How to spot support and resistance areas? And what is the meaning behind them and how can we use them to trade every single day? Okay, so the two things we have support and resistance. Okay, the best way and easiest way I could put it is think of support as the floor and resistance as the ceiling. Whenever I'm going to do a quick draw real quick, whenever there is a support line, let's say this is a support and the stock breaks above support, goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up. So once the stock breaks above this level now becomes support. The next level above it will become resistance. Okay? So let's say the stock goes up, comes back down, tests this area, fails to break down, holds it, and continues back up again. Now we have confirmed that this is a support area. Think of a candlestick. This is a candlestick above support. Think of yourself as a candlestick. You're standing on support, which is the floor. The floor supports you. The ceiling is resisting you because you want to go to the next floor, but you can't. So the only way for you to go to the second floor is by breaking resistance. Once you're in the second floor, now the resistance has become support. Okay? That is the best way to explain it. So we're going to look at it here on this Tesla stock on 1 minute candles. We explained what support and resistance are, how to spot support and resistance levels. The best way to do it is to look for multiple touches. So easily, the longer you trade, the easier you could spot these areas, and they're very easy to spot. We see these wicks. Wicks just mean that the candle has come to a resistance or support area, or there is an indifference between buyers and sellers, right? So the stock was moving up. Let's zoom in a little bit here. The stock ended up developing this little support area, ended up moving up with these great candles right here. And as we're getting ready to break out, we failed to break, and now we're coming back again, tried to hit it again, failed to break, and we kind of sat in this consolidation area. Now we have multiple touches. We have the support of the previous candles here. We have this candle that tried to break it out here, and we have a few failed breakouts over here. Okay, the next level, we have a couple touches here, and we have a couple touches here. Every single time we got to this resistance area, we kind of failed, and then went back down. So as you guys can see here, every time you would have came to this area, if you would have just put your stop, let's say here, and took a short, you would have made money. Especially over here, that would have been a beautiful move from 279 to 273. Anyway, this is now a resistance area. Once the stock, I would say 2 to 3 touches, realistically 3 touches. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is a now this is confirmed a resistance area, and once the stock fell, broke support, now this becomes resistance. It's kind of like a divergence, okay? So once the stock moves above resistance, that resistance becomes support. Once the stock falls below support, now support becomes resistance. So if I'm in the second floor and I fall through the floor and end up on the first floor, now the second floor is my resistance area, okay? So now we have a resistance, clear resistance area. And if we look at a different time frame, what time is it? 10:15. We look at the 5 minutes. Where did we go? Holy cow. I don't even know where we went. Was it this right here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. And when we look on the longer time frames, we see this beautiful rejection, beautiful breakdown, rejection, rejection, rejection. And once the stock came down and failed to continue down, we assumed that this area is now a support area. And if we look at the previous time frames or previous history, we saw that as the stock was moving up, we encountered some sort of support. And then we got a beautiful breakout. So we draw this line here, and that's where we get the support area and we get this consolidation. Once the stock fails for the third time, 1, 2, 3, we have come down on a 5-minute engulfing candle. An engulfing candle just means that this candle, this red candle right here, is bigger than the previous two candles or previous one candle. It just means this now there is way more volume than we anticipated. As we talked about before, the bigger the candle, the more volume there is, right? So like let's say there is buyers here. Let's say this candle has about 200,000 shares being traded in that 5 minutes. This one more than likely probably has 600, 700, 800,000 shares being traded. We failed the resistance area and broke support. As the candle closes below support, now support becomes resistance. And as you guys can see here, I'm going to get a little closer. This 5-minute tried to go back above. The buyers tried to bring this back above the support area, but they couldn't. There was too many sellers. Then we see a clear downtrend once we broke this level. So a beautiful trade would have been take the short. I would have started taking these shorts here and adding to my position, adding, adding, adding. But realistically and technically you would wait for the close of the candle. Then we start taking some shares, put our stop loss above support. I'm sorry, above resistance, and then we just take the stock down to the next support area, which seems, yes, there's a rejection. We have this consolidation. Seems like, and we had these two double bottom, the double bottom right here. So we have a beautiful resistance area right here that we touched and then went back up. Where do we go? We go to the next resistance area. So now we fell. We couldn't break down any lower. We now have another support area. Now this becomes resistance. As we go up, we try to break above. We couldn't break above. Remember, guys, as you guys can see, these wicks slightly close above this line. This line is obviously not straight, but they are areas, not lines. When you're trading and you're drawing lines, those are not perfect lines. They should be areas of support and resistance. Why I say areas is because obviously buyers and sellers, like we talked about previously in our previous video, place stop orders or limit orders to buy or sell the stock at these areas. They're not going to be exactly to the cent. So you gotta understand in those resistance and support areas, especially in such a tight resistance and support. I don't like trading in those areas. I would say those are death traps. You're just gonna sit and get chopped up. They're gonna eat you alive. You're gonna lose all your profits, or you're gonna have a really bad day. So I like trading outside of these areas. So in my opinion, once the resistance breaks out, once the stock breaks resistance, we're beautiful. We're getting ready to take a nice trade. If you take this back here and we had the resistance here and we took that breakout above, would have, you'd have been great. All the way from 279 to God knows. Next resistance 291. This consolidation, we draw this line, we keep extending it. This area now we tried to fail, we failed again, we failed again. The third fail, we see this beautiful red candle that just engulfs all previous candles. Now we see heavy volume. Heavy volume. We have the next support area that will support this position. Again, we fail. Try to come up. We test it because now it's a resistance area. We fail to break resistance. We fall back down again. Obviously, the stock is in a bear cycle. And then we go down, obviously, to the next support area. But that's it, guys. That's support and resistance levels. The bigger the time frame. So to top it off real quick, What is support? Support is usually under the stock. It helps support the stock from falling further. Resistance is the stock where it wants to go and it wants to break above resistance for high of day or whatever it is. Failure of resistance or failure of support has to be at the candle close. The bigger time frame for that candle, the more meaning that candle has. Okay. Now, if we look at this time frame and we put it at whatever 15-minute candles, now you see it much, much, much clearer, as you guys can see. Boom, sell, sell, sell. Get a green candle, test resistance, and then boom, again, take a short here. You're good to go. Tried to come up, which is usually closing positions of shorters and people trying to buy back the position. And so tried to go up, and hits this resistance, falls back down again. And we just see even clearer over the 15-minute candles. And so that's that, guys. That's support and resistance levels. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.